Today we're doing two WNBA player props here on PrizePicks for Tuesday, July 22nd. Before I get started, you guys, link in the description below of the video. Hop into the Discord, $9.30 per month, 31 cents per day. That's where I post all the plays that I'm making on PrizePicks. We have their captions in there as well. Super positive community overall. Everyone in there just trying to help each other cash. Also right now doing a promo right now for first-time members of the Discord, 20% off your first month using promo code TUFF with the link in the description below. Comes out to like $6 for the full first 30 days in the Discord. So again, link in the description below for that. Also follow me on Twitter at ToughPicks. Be posting daily plays of the day over on there. But I got two player props that I am targeting for this WNBA slate today. First games after the All-Star break, I think 5 games, so 10 teams playing here. Massive slate overall. I'm not really sure how the rest is going to work and things like that for some of these players, so I am targeting kind of first half props, which I do like to do in general. Because I just think there's so much risk when it comes to blowouts and things like that when in the WNBA and foul trouble. So yeah, first two player props that I do like on the slate. Again, I'm recording this video also Monday, July 21st at night. So hopefully these lines don't bump. I'm not expecting them to bump, but again, I will leave a pinned comment in the description below if these lines happen to bump if I'm still playing them. But again, first half fantasy score lines, super fun to play in general, in my opinion. But the first play I'm looking at here is going to be Brittany Griner. Over 11 first half fantasy against the Las Vegas Aces. The Atlanta Dream, they're a really good team, and they had a ton of All-Stars this year. Alicia Gray, Brianna Jones, and Ryan Howard were all All-Stars, so the only non-All-Star essentially was Brittany Griner. And I'm targeting her for a variety of reasons. One, she's been playing well as of late. We look at this first half fantasy score line. Well, last season she was over this line in 25 of 32 games, 78% hit rate. Again, this is outlier, by the way. 7-day free trial with the link in the description below. Absolute elite research betting tool that I do use every single day. But we look at this season, over her last 10 games, she's over in 7 of her last 10. More specifically, 6 of her last 8 games. She's over this line. And more specifically, this season without Ryan Howard, who is out until the end of the month. She's over in 2 of 3, 2 of 2, more specifically, 16 and 16 first half fantasy in her last 2 games without Ryan Howard, which just, Ryan Howard, one of the higher volume shooters, higher field goal attempts players in the WNBA. So anytime a player like that gets removed from a starting lineup and removed from a rotation, it just gives shots around for more players, right? But the Las Vegas Aces are a prime opportunity for Brittany Griner historically over the last few seasons. We've seen bigs do very, very well. Especially, I think we're going to see Brianna Jones guarding Asia Wilson in this one, which obviously should put Brittany Griner in position to grab a ton of rebounds. But like I said, we're talking about this head-to-head matchup. Brittany Griner over in 2 of her last 2 versus Las Vegas Aces. These are both coming last season, so obviously not a hit rate for us this year. But we look at other bigs. Aaliyah Boston has had 24 and 26 fantasy points against the Aces this recently. Azura Stevens, 24.9. Shakira Austin, 12.3. Lee Uru, center for the Dallas Wings, she had 10.1. Tina Charles, 14.2. We've just seen a variety of different bigs do very, very well. Nyaka here, 22.2, do very well against the Las Vegas Aces. And we look at the season, Las Vegas is allowing the second most total points in the paint to opponents. And then we look at Brittany Griner. She scores 65.4% of her points come in the paint. So a ton of upside here for Brittany Griner at 11 fantasy score without Ryan Howard. I really, really do like the spot. Also, just to the center position over the course of the season, the Las Vegas Aces allowing the second most total points to the center position, which obviously, in comparison to the Connecticut Sun, who's the first place. I mean, for competitive teams, this is quite a bit of points to the center position. Also, the Aces allowing the second most total rebounds to the center position. So just a great spot. We've seen centers kind of feast versus the Aces all year, and Brittany Griner without Ryan Howard has played very, very well, and very, very well as of late. I think also the coach is just giving her more minutes. I mean, her minutes have kind of been all over the place, but she's seen 16, 13, 11 plus essentially in 6 of her last 6 games. And again, those all coincide with her going over this kind of low line of 11. So I do like this spot for Brittany Griner. Also, let me actually do one more filter on this because I do think it is interesting. With Jordan Canada, that might also be a positive correlation. With Jordan Canada this season, she's over in 8 of 15 games, giving her, a real legitimate pass first point guard who's able to set her up in the post. So I do like the spot here a lot for Brittany Griner. The second play for the slate's going to be Ezi Magbegor over 13.5 fantasy score. Again, not really overthinking this one whatsoever, but Ezi, she's over this line at 11 of 13 games. She's been playing well over in 7 of her last 10, averaging 17 first half fantasy points. So when she goes over, she really clears the over on this line. But I do like this line because of the home hit rate. When she plays at home, she's over in 9 of 12 games, averaging 17.58 fantasy points. And this season, she's actually faced Dallas 2 times, 10.8 on the road, and 23.6 fantasy points this season on the road versus the Dallas Wings. 23.6. And Dallas's new look lineup after they traded Alyssa Smith, which starts these two bigs. I don't want to botch these names, but these two players here start at the center position for Dallas. And since they've kind of put out this lineup, Dallas over the last since July 1st, over the last 4 games with this lineup, they've allowed the most opponent points in the paint in the WNBA at 42.5. And Ezi Magbegor, 4 players that see substantial minutes on the Seattle Storm, average 78.1% of the points that she scores come in the paint, points in the paint percentage points, right? So Dallas has been getting destroyed in the paint. Obviously, they have a very poor defense with the worst defensive rating over that span. So also just a ton of upside with the blocks for Ezi Magbegor and steals as well. So 2 player props, 2 centers, 2 bigs, fantasy score lines, both later games as well, which I do like this reason why I like this spot. But nonetheless, 2 player props. Both players did not play in the All-Star game either, so should be very, very well rested. Please drop a like if you guys hit the subscribe button, and as always, let's cash.